Hello, everybody. I'm Syrup Dishes here, and today I take you out to Oceanside, California. We are on the Oceanside Pier, and we're going to do a little fishing, and I thought I'd share with you just our experience. There is this awesome bait and tackle shop right out on the pier, and it tells you everything you need to know. You can rent a rod for $8 an hour or $35 for the day. You can buy some squid like you see here. We also bought some anchovies and some mackerel. We just cut it up into small pieces. The rods they rent to you come with a weight and about 1.5 feet of extra leader or line and one single hook. Don't worry if you lose it, get snagged, tangled, they will just swap your rod out. Don't charge you extra for that. But you can keep those rods all day. 2 rods and a bunch of bait cost maybe $85 for an entire day of fishing. Now, what are you fishing for? Well, I'm going to tell you, I caught mostly sea bass. My very first fish here, you can see, took about 3.5 hours before we got a bite on some squid, and we pull up a sea bass. The trick that we found was you got to let it sit, but not more than a couple minutes at a time, and then you relocate it. It is about 30 feet straight down that dock. You're going to get a good look at it here, and so it's pretty tricky. We had lots of hits, lots of bites at first, but couldn't get them hooked on, and then you're bringing it right up on to the pier, and then you need to have some pliers. I was fortunate, and the bait shop lent me a knife so I could cut the bait, and I also had brought a multi-tool along with me from out of state. Bring my father-in-law out, who claims to be an excellent fisher, and as the day wears on, we're just enjoying the quiet scenery. There are gulls and pigeons and birds and surfers and lots of people, but not overly crowded. Nobody was pushing us out of our way or telling us where to go. We found a nice bench, and we got to just sit and do some awesome fishing. If you don't want to keep the fish, you can just throw them right back overboard. Here you see me baiting up. The dock has some names on it. I don't really know what those are for, but I thought they were pretty neat. Some of the families down the way, they were keeping fish, and so they would rush over to us and say, can we have that? Can we have that? And sure enough, if they were going to eat it, I let them have it. You might be catch and release. I was throwing all mine back. The fish of the day, though, was a sculpin. And I pulled in a small sculpin. I'll show you a picture of it here at the end. It's hard when you're the only one videoing to get a good video of it. And the rest of the day after catching that, people would stop by and ask how many sculpin I'd caught or if this was the place for sculpin. It was a coveted fish. And here you see the end of the day is nearing. This was December 24th, folks. And beautiful, gorgeous sunset right off of the edge of the pier. People stay here and fish all night long until the dock closes at 10 p.m. And I suggest you head out and try it. It's cheap, it's inexpensive, and one of the most relaxing days I had. We sealed the day up with 4 or 5 fish, mostly sea bass, and that one sculpin. We had a little lunch at the Tin Fish that was down there on the pier, and then we headed home for the day. You're going to see here a very tiny sea bass. That poor little guy was the littlest one we caught. Here's one of the smaller sea basses. The next image is going to be the sculpin. If you can zoom in on that, it's an ugly fish, but I guess delicious. And one of the larger sea basses on the day. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Syrup Dishes. I hope I catch you again soon.